afternoon, folks. We haven't had a video in a really long time, so welcome back to videos. Hopefully you enjoy the change of pace. So I'm doing two things today. I'm going to review what we did in class, and I'm also going to share something new with you. And I'm also going to use something new for videos. I'm going to be using this board to review, and I'm going to be using the whiteboard with our math book projected on the screen. So at some point in time I'm going to make a little switch, so forgive the shaky camera. I wouldn't look, it might make you a little dizzy. So let's get our notebooks ready. Date at the top of the page, brand new page. Our title today is Order of Operations, and we have just a little bit of notes. So I took our horizontal PEMDAS and I changed it vertical like Miss Oliva showed us today, and I think that looking at it vertically is just a little bit more visually appealing, especially with that new learning that we got today. If you still want to write it horizontally, that's fine. Just make sure that you're grouping together your M and D and your A and S. So I wrote mine vertically because, again, I understand it better that way, but whatever works for you so that you are getting the right answer in the end. So here's our PEMDAS. Remember, our P stands for parentheses, our E for exponents. Notice that I added a little or. M or D would come next, A or S. So multiplication or division would come next, addition or subtraction would come next. And this was that new piece that we talked about today. So we're not going to necessarily do parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction in that specific order. If we get to an equation that has multiplication or division, it doesn't matter which one we do first. The important thing is we need to do whichever one comes first in the expression. So if we have an equation with multiplication and division, and the division comes first, we do the division first. We do it in order as we see it. So we're going to practice, the three that I chose for us today are really practicing how to solve things when we have that multiplication or division, or that addition or subtraction. So make sure you have that copied down. Our first example is here. We have 27 divided by 3 times 3 in parentheses plus 17. So we're still going to follow this, and we're going to use it to help us. Do we have P parentheses? Yes, we do. So that's what we're going to do first, because that, here comes first. So I'm going to just circle it so that I know this is what I'm doing. 3 times 3 is 9. Everything else gets pulled down. Plus 17 divided by 27. All right, now I'm going to go down my list. We did the P. Do I have any exponents? No. Multiplication or division? Yes. I only have division, so I'm going to do my division next. 27 divided by 9 is 3. Everything else gets pulled down. So now I'm left with only one thing, and that is this addition, 3 plus 17, which equals 20. So for that example, we didn't have a multiplication or division example, or addition or subtraction, but just to kind of get us in the hang of it. So remember what we talked about today. Once these numbers, we use them, they're gone. Even in class today, we started crossing them off as we used them so that we didn't get confused. If that works for you, you do that. All right, second example. I'm going to leave my notes. My second example is 72 divided by 7 minus 1 in parentheses times 3. I made that nice and big so we know it's a multiplication symbol. So what are we going to do first? Start thinking about that. I look to my order of operations. My P comes first. Oh, I have parentheses, so I'm going to do this first. 7 minus 1 is 6. Everything else gets pulled down. I didn't do the times 3 yet, or the divided by 72. Look, division, multiplication. So I have no exponents, multiplication or division. Now, when we were normally thinking of this, our multiplication, oh, the M comes first, we do multiplication first. No, no, no. Whichever comes first in the expression. Mia's laughing at me. Whichever comes first in the expression. So what comes first in the expression? The division comes first in the expression. So that's what we're going to do first. That's the most important thing that I want you to remember. When we're working with multiplication or division, or addition or subtraction, whichever comes first. So we have division and multiplication. This comes first in the expression, so I'm doing that first. Oh man, do you know how many groups of 6 are in 72? I had to write that on the side. Let's write that on the side. So I'm going to do 72 divided by 6 one time. Using with 1, bring down my 2. Oh, 6 and 12, that's 2 times, and I have nothing left. So 6 times 12 would give me 72, and then I'm going to bring down everything I didn't do, and now I have 12 times 3, which I know is 36. So again, when I got to this expression here, I did whichever multiplication or division came first, and in this case, division came first, and that's what I did. Let's practice one more like this. And then we're going to move up to the other board. 10 minus 4 plus 2 minus 1. Lots of adding and subtracting. So when I look at my order, no parentheses. Exponents, no exponents. Multiplication or division, neither of those. Adding or subtraction, I have both. Doesn't matter which one comes first. What matters is what I do first in the expression. I have to go follow the expression, left to right. So what are we going to do first? Circle it if you know. 10 minus 4. 10 minus 4 is 6. Everything else gets pulled down. Okay? I still have addition and subtraction. The order here doesn't matter. It matters whichever one comes first in the expression. So this comes first in the expression, so that's what I'm going to do. 6 plus 2 is 8. And bring everything else down, minus 1, and now we're just left with this simple equation, 8 minus 1 is 7. So we simplified that expression all the way to 7. So up here, the most important part to remember is when we have both multiplication and division, we do whichever comes first in the expression. If we have both addition and subtraction, we do whichever comes first in the expression. And those last 2 examples were really great examples of that. All right, I'm going to move the camera to the front. Like I said, I wouldn't watch because you're going to get dizzy, but here we go. Carrying the camera, the camera, the camera. There's Kayla and Mia carrying the camera. All right, that looks good. Okay, so find this page. This was the page that we did today in class. We're going to highlight some things. So if you don't have a highlighter, pause your recording and grab a highlighter. So grouping symbols. Parentheses are grouping symbols, right? It's a symbol that groups things together. So today we're going to talk about these different types of grouping symbols that we could have. So parentheses, I'm just going to read right from here. Parentheses group parts of an expression together and let you know what to do first. So parentheses are a grouping symbol. We also have 2 more. Brackets, which look like that, and braces, which look like that. Those are also grouping symbols. Oh my gosh, well if we have all these grouping symbols, how do we know what to do first? I'll tell you. It says these symbols are often used when an expression has grouping symbols inside. And we'll look at an example, because I know you're probably like, oh my gosh, I don't know. To simplify an expression with grouping symbols, so if we're using parentheses, and brackets, and braces, what do we do first? Simple. We work from the inside out. So we start inside, whatever's on the most inside, and we start pulling everything out. So let's look at the example here for us. Come on, page. My page isn't moving. Ah! Oh my. Okay. So, here's this example here. It says 12 times, this is a bracket, 48 divided by, in parentheses, 4 plus 4. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of work. I'm going to get rid of this. Don't copy this down. Don't look at that right now. You have it in your book, but we're just going to look at this. So notice we have brackets and parentheses. Our directions that we just highlighted at the top said work from the inside, the innermost inside, and on our way out. So when I look at this, on the inside, I have this 4 plus 4. That's what I'm going to do first. So 4 plus 4 is 8. I still have that bracket because I haven't done anything with it. Divided by 48. Still have that bracket times 12. I'm bringing everything down. That's what they did over here on the side, but I want to keep our learning consistent. Now we have 48 divided by 8. If we know our facts, we can get that very quickly. Girls, 48 divided by 8, you know? You know?
What?
What? That means that they don't know. 48 divided by 8 is 6 times 12. Okay, we pull down the rest. What is 6 times 12? 72. Okay? We're going to practice this. We're going to actually do numbers 15 and 16 right here on this page. Okay? Take your time. So let's look at number 15. If you want to copy this down on a separate sheet of paper, if you feel you have no space, please do that. Remember, your math needs to be neat. That's the key to good math, neat math. So when I look at this, I see I have brackets and parentheses. But I know I need to start on the very inside and whatever's inside first. So the very inside, I have this 12 times minus 7. I'm starting there. 12 minus 7 is 5. Pulling everything down, even the grouping symbols I haven't used. Times 2, I didn't do anything with brackets. I didn't do anything with brackets here. Okay? And my dividing by 100. Now I'm going to still, these brackets tell me I'm grouping that together because it has to happen first. 5 times 2 is 10. Bring everything else down. Divided by 100. 100 divided by 10. You know this one? I'm
10.
throwing her off. Good. 10. Okay? Notice we start from the inside out. Number 16 gets a little scarier. Look at it. I see braces, I see brackets, I see parentheses. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about how big and long and scary it looks. Take your time, simplify one piece at a time. So the first thing, I'm going to go all the way on the inside. So here's my braces, then I have my brackets, then I have my parentheses. Okay, so I'm going to start all the way on the inside. 2 divided by 1 is 2. And I'm going to bring everything down, even my grouping symbols. I didn't use this bracket. I didn't use this brace. I didn't do divide by 4. There's the other bracket. Divide by 8. There's the other brace. Minus 10. It's a lot. See what I meant about being neat? You might need to write this on a separate piece of paper. Now again, I'm going inside. What do I have to do next? On the inside is 4 divided by 2. That's 2. Everything else gets pulled down, including those grouping symbols. So here's this, divided by 8. Here's this, minus 10. So now what do I have left inside a grouping symbol? All I have left is 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Bring everything else down, 10. And what am I left with? 6 as my answer. Okay? So we just need to remember that these grouping symbols, as big as they may get, you'd start from the inside, take your time, check your math, and work your way out until you've simplified the expression so you have one number left. Your practice, okay, and what I would like for you to do is, I'm going to get rid of this, I would like for you to do the rest of this page. So you're going to do number 11, 12, be careful here with these fractions, okay, 13, and 14. Number 12 is, you know, a little bit more thinking because we have fractions. Number 13 has decimals. Don't be scared of them. Just make sure you're using them correctly. Number 11 is straight whole numbers. We should be good. Number 14, I see brackets. I see parentheses. So remember what we just did, starting inside and working our way out. I think you'll be fine. So tomorrow I want to see these 4 questions answered. For these top ones especially, you have to write it on a separate piece of paper. I want to see it on a separate piece of paper because remember, each time we simplify, we go from that long expression and we simplify one piece and it gets shorter. We simplify the next piece and it gets shorter until we get to that single answer down there at that bottom of our upside down triangle. Okay? Take your time, do your best. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.